There's lots to do in the North Carolina mountains. You can take a hike, ride a horse, find a waterfall, or head to West Jefferson and visit Ashe County Cheese.
The factory was built in 1930 by Kraft Corporation. At that time, there was a lot of dairy farms in the area. They needed a place for all the milk to go, and they built a cheese factory here.
Kraft operated the facility until the mid-1970s.
And then they sold it to the then plant manager. He owned it for a few years and then sold it to an investment group. They owned it for a couple years and then sold it to the family that currently owns it now. So it's been in the same family since 1994.
Co-owner Josh Williams serves as general manager at Ashe County Cheese.
I'm a Ashe County native. I grew up here, came to the cheese plant, cheese store as a kid. Never thought I'd be working here or owning it and running it, but it's really neat.
The cheese making process starts with one basic ingredient: milk. Lots and lots of milk.
Most of our milk comes to us from local dairy farms within about a 50-mile radius of the plant. We run about 400,000 pounds of milk through the plant a week and make about 40,000 pounds of cheese. It's about a 10-to-1 ratio. It takes about 10 pounds of milk to make 1 pound of cheese.
Brandon Hardin, also a co-owner, oversees cheese production.
We start the plant up around midnight, and we're going to prep the plant for the day coming in. Then we will take the raw milk and we will run it through pasteurization into the vat. Once the milk's in the vat, we will add a lactic acid creating bacteria to it. And then we will let that milk ripen with that in it. Then we can add color if it's a Colby or a cheddar, or not add color if it's a Jack. And we will agitate the lactic acid creating bacteria that we add to it. And we add rennet to it, the milk will coagulate. And then we cut it in cubes, and that separates the solids from the liquids. So the solids is cheese then, and the liquid is whey.
Workers drain off the whey, leaving behind the cheese curds, but they aren't done yet.
After the whey is drained off, then we will salt the cheese. And we have an agitator that goes up and down and mixes the salt in with the cheese.
The final step, packing the cheese curds into round forms and then pressing the cheese several times to form that familiar wheel shape. The work is labor intensive, and the conditions inside the cheese-making room resemble a sauna.
Inside the facility, we try to keep it around 80 degrees, and it's got a very high humidity. But the reason for that is when we put that cheese in those forms and we press it, that cheese has to be kind of warm. And if it's cold, it wouldn't press and it wouldn't knit together properly. That's a hot, humid environment to work in. But I don't really hear that much complaining from the guys, so that's a good thing.
In the back of the factory, workers prepare cheese for shipping and for sale in the retail store across the street. Inside, you'll find a wide selection of cheeses for just about any occasion. You can even get everything you need to create a charcuterie board and find a North Carolina wine to pair along with it.
There's a lot of different varieties. You can go from a very mild cheese that don't have hardly any flavor to a pungent cheese, and cheese is so broad in the different flavors you can't put it all under one category. Most everybody likes at least one kind of cheese, or if not multiple.
But Williams says there's more to Ashe County Cheese than just making a sale.
It's very important to the area. It brings a lot of people in the area, and we can kind of piggyback off of each other because, like I said, West Jefferson's done a lot in the last few years to bring tourists in. They use Ashe County Cheese as a draw, and now we can use West Jefferson and Ashe County as a draw to bring people to us.
And outside of Ashe County, its cheese can be found in stores and specialty shops across the Southeast, taking a bit of North Carolina history with it.
It does have a lot of name recognition, and you can be traveling and go to a grocery store or to a deli or somewhere and see your product in there. It's pretty awesome.
For Carolina Impact, I'm Jason Terzis reporting.
Thanks for watching, and if you don't want to miss any more great regional stories, please subscribe to our PBS Charlotte YouTube channel.